Hello, good evening. Can you actually hear me? Because I am getting some interesting error messages from YouTube, but I think we are actually streaming, although YouTube is telling me otherwise. I hope, maybe. Do I exist? I exist. All right, because if I can show you this for a moment, let me see if I can show screen. This is what I'm seeing. Errors everywhere, and okay, we are good. But hello Max, hello Etienne, hello Kelly, welcome. A bit of a rough start, I apologize, but we are all here now, I hope. So, I hope you are having a good day. We have made a little magnetic pin tray that just has a magnet underneath. It's very exciting. Max have discovered some new things about themselves. Very exciting, very cool. We have some changes to the workroom, which I'm excited about, especially the cat furniture lining up against the walls. Yes, congratulations, Max. It is very good to discover truths about oneself so that we can live and be ourselves more authentically. But I'm just gonna be stitching some little drawstring pockets, well, bags today, because we have a friend who has a birthday coming up, and drawstring bags are ever such good gift wrap options, I think, because they are very reusable and for crafty people very good at project bags and for storing things in. Shall we do a tiny little office workroom tour just at the beginning? I know there are not that many of us here at the beginning, but I kind of want to show you before we lose the daylight. You love the cat shells? Yeah, I did not build them. We did buy them because time and spoons, but the cats seem to be enjoying them very much. They are not using them right now, but if people are ready for a little bit of hear and see here in Texas, excellent, Myra. Glad to hear it. I still have the error message from YouTube, so who knows what that is about. But while we have the daylight, we'll do a little bit of shaky handheld camera, so you have been forewarned, those of you who get nauseated from that, and I will show you a brief little office tour because I'm a little bit excited. I'm just gonna grab, so that you can hear me hopefully, we have the cat shells, 2 of them. They have been running up and down and fetching snacks in them for a while, which I think is very cute. And then we have a new bookshelf, which I feel adds a little bit of dimension to stuff going on. I'm a little bit far from the mic, but hopefully you can still hear me. And then we have these 2 cupboards, which actually used to be under the work table, which the big work table has been yeeted, because I have been having a propensity for small projects recently anyway, and has been changed with a tiny kitchen table with the current VIP working and another cat shelf. And this is actually so nice because the old work table would cut into that whole lower section of window, and it is incredible how much it has meant to the light in the room to get that little chunk back. Has been really, really good. And small things is like I got this little wheelie trolley thing for my camera stuff that can just wheel in and out of focus, and I love it, honestly. It is so convenient to have all my batteries and everything like just out of frame. It's very nice. And a little ladder to hang my wools upon without ruining them with hooks. And a trash bin, which is weird to be excited about these tiny things, but it is very nice to not have to leave the room all the time for for various reasons. Whoops. Natural light is so good for crafting. It is so nice, and it's also very good for the ye-old mental health, because the darkness this winter has been not the easiest, and now the room is so much brighter and lighter. There used to be a big black shelf next to the door. We found them secondhand, and we had one, like spouse had one in their office and I had one in my office, but when we temporarily parked them in spouse's office while we were painting mine, we actually discovered that we really liked both of them side by side in spouse's office, so that was kind of a tug of war between storage and giving spouse what they wanted. So now that we have gotten all the storage lower down, it really works. I'm really happy with it. Hello Lynn, yes, hello Alex. Welcome. We have just done a tiny little room tour because there have been some changes. It's strange that I'm like most excited about my little wheelie trolley and the trash bin, but they are most convenient, and the cat shelves. I have been hiding snacks in the cat shelves to encourage them to use them, and they have been having fun. They were a bit uncertain at first, but now they're starting to run up them at speed, which the screws had better hold, my precious babies. None of which are here right now. Very rude, but maybe later. So yeah, cat shelves are a lot of fun. They seem to be enjoying them quite a bit. You need to head to work? Well, have a good day at work, Kelly. I hope you have a good one. Oh, I'm trying to keep myself in frame for what I'm doing. I feel you. I got a wheelie thing as a bedside table, and it's so good. It is. Like, I used to have all my camera equipment on my desk, which is not ideal because, you know, you need the space for working. But then I would also hope to... Then I will have to go back and forth to grab stuff, and now I can just wheel it all with me. It's amazing. Hope the screws are well anchored. Yes, so do I. And that the wall is well built and solid and keeping everything where it should be. Maybe the error message was due to a lag between facial movements and vocals. Not too much, but it's sort of a glitch. I'm not sure. I think it was something to do with the transmission of the whole signal. I'm not sure about that, but... I do think that the... Oops, I already have a threaded needle. It was more to do with some internet shenanigans on YouTube's end, but the tiny delay between my talking and the voice is probably not something I think I can fix. That seems... might be an interchange between the different things going on. More congratulations for Max on their discovery. It's so nice. This community is so supportive. I love to see it. What are we making today? Good question. I was just gonna ask you all the very same thing. I am just starting on a tiny little drawstring pouch for a friend who has a birthday very, very soon, and drawstring bags make ever such good gift bags, but also crafting bags for when you are gifting things to crafty people. So I do enjoy giving away gifts in drawstring pouches that when you know they are crafty people, because they always have a need for something to put one's project within, and you always have a lot of projects going on anyway, don't you? More yays for wheelie things? Yes. Very much yay for wheelie things helping us out. Maybe we can paint them one day. I don't know. That would be fun. Catherine is just finishing up tea and then hope to finish a warm house dress to be more comfortable in. Ooh, exciting. Yeah, I'm working on some warm weather stuff too, actually, because, or like stuff to keep one warm, because we are in that in-between season where it's too warm for hot winter coats and really thick winter coats, but it's too cold for just wind jackets, and I'm freezing because it's wet, and you get wet and everything gets cold and your feet get cold and everything, you just gets miserable. So I'm working on more wool stuff, although I probably should be working on more spring and summer stuff to keep with the season. Etienne says, just came back from a furry convention and now I have a cold. Oh no, the dreaded concrud. I hope you get better soon. So I called in sick from work and I'm currently knitting socks in my living room. That does sound like a nice way to recuperate from all the germs running around at various cons. Library chair says our local church is having a special service in a few days in order of Trans Day of Visibility. I'm crocheting a bracelet to wear to that. How nice! I love that your church is doing that. That is very much needed these days. Make sure that people get to live their own lives without all the hate. Very, very good. Hope you have a very good time attending that. Stripy Crayon says they took a break from the Welsh wool sweater, but over the weekend I knit a big section of it and will need to do more spinning soon. Ooh, how exciting. Change of pace is always quite nice. Lynn says they're planning on painting theirs gold. Oh, how fantastic. I'm not sure that is the color I will go for with this one. Maybe it will be shiny frame. But we do have a lot of various matte greens from the walls, and I was thinking maybe we could do something fun with that. Perhaps, although that is not quite all the way up on my project list, to be honest. They are very functional the way they are. I also got a tiny chest of drawers for my desk where I can keep all my knickknacks like pens and post-its and cough drops and all those things, and do recommend thing to keep stuff off your office desk space while still within arm's reach. So what project am I working on currently? Right this very moment, Max, I am working on a tiny, it's just a long rectangle of fabric, a drawstring bag as a gift bag for a friend whose birthday we have been invited to over the weekend. I have another one cut out slightly larger, good size for small projects if they have. I've usually seen them work on bigger knitting projects, but you never know when you need something for like a pair of socks or just a tiny sewing project or something like that. This is for keeping, you know, tiny knickknacks within one's crafting bag because they always get lost. So, you know, measuring tape and needle houses and knitting stitch markers and all those sorts of things was what I was thinking. And then conveniently it also doubles as the conveyor to bring the gift within. We do like a double usefulness thing. And this is a lovely fabric that I only have a little bit left of, but I think it is, the earth tones are just really nice. It's not, I'm not sure how well represented it is on screen, but yeah, it's like gray and green and brown and like warm and nice earth tones that I really love. And I just fell for it when I saw it, and I knew that I wanted a couple of meters just to see what we would make. And a lot of them did become drawstring bags because you get to see it every time you pull your crafting out, and that gives me a lot of joy. Cute, thank you. I mean, they are very easy projects, good for people to start with if they are unfamiliar with sewing, because they are both small and fairly simple. And I do like to keep beginner projects small, just because when they make mistakes they get so dejected if they've used a lot of fabric, like if they're making a tote bag or an apron or something that is also not that technically difficult, but they get so sad when they don't manage. But whereas with small things like patchwork and these kinds of things, you can make many with a small piece of fabric, and that helps people not feel so scared of just doing the thing, because you're only using a tiny amount of material to begin with, which I absolutely think is very, very good. Oh, and the thing I always forget about drawstring bags, but we are trying to remember it today, is fastening my thread. And for my own convenience sake, I'm gonna skip multiple stitches so that when we fold it over later, we actually have a little hole through which to pull our drawstring through. I always forget, and I just have to seam rip a tiny section to get it out, but maybe today we shall remember. I hope everyone else is doing well. We have had a very, very rainy week here in Trondheim, because, yeah, I don't know, it's just the time of year, and we have been out quite a lot, and I have been quite cold. I do not enjoy, so I need more woolly things for that interim season between cold, cold winter and properly warm spring. Non-verbal today, but glad to be here. You are most welcome, Brooke. Non-verbal or not, we have no judgment in such ways. And Lily says, hello all, hope we are all okay. I hope so too. Welcome, Lily. I hope you are having a good day today, as much as can be expected some days. We are just chilling, and people are knitting or sewing or crocheting various things. I have all but forgotten to get my tea out, but I was supposed to finish that pile of shawl over there, but this takes precedence since this event is happening in the weekend, so I guess it shall be yet another live stream until we actually get to finish the darn thing. Your voice and soft music are so soothing. Coming down with the cold, so sitting quietly with you and knitting is just a thing for me. Well, thank you. I'm glad that I can be a soothing presence in your recuperation. I hope you get better soon. It seems to be something that is going around, so I hope you take care of yourself. I'm knitting, but I should be making dinner. Oh no! The conundrums of the duality. We have already had our supper, so I can craft until I fall asleep. And Jen says, I don't enjoy the warm, cold cycles we have right now with all the rain, but at least I was able to tap my maple tree, and I'm attempting to make maple syrup. Ooh, how exciting. I have never actually made any kind of syrups from trees, but I have friends who have made birch sap syrup, and they said it is very mild, very sweet when you boil it down a lot, but very mild in flavor. Nothing compared to maple syrup, but still a very refreshing taste. I still haven't tried, but I would like to one day. Seems to be fun. You missed the beginning? That's alright, Spirit Bee. I mean, we're just hanging out, having a good time. Us is common with these live streams of such, that we just hang out and have a good time and craft things or rest or get a thing done that we've been putting off for a while, and it's all good. Can I just get you a little bit closer to my actual hands? Oops. Oh no, I've broken it. Come back here. Lynn says I'm playing a video game, but I need to stop soon so I can rest my eyes. That is very... Yeah, that's a thing where you just sit too long at the screen and then you have to take a rest. It is not the most fun, but it is what it is. At least you can listen a little bit and we can just hang out until you feel up for looking at screens again. Tamari says they're watching with the little gremlin child of mine and knitting. Hope everyone is well. How are you doing? Hope you are having a good time. Knitting is such a nice, restful way to pass the time. Although I have experienced that Norwegian gremlin children find me quite boring since I'm not speaking in a language they can comprehend. But I'm glad you are here and hanging out with us. Lee Arts, so nice to have some company while drawing this evening. Oh, nice. Are you drawing anything exciting? Anything fun? Goodbye, Stripey Crayons. Have a good one. We are almost down the seams for the first drawstring bag. I have not even poured myself some tea. Maybe we should do that. Spiripy says they were playing with their kitty cat as she isn't a year until May. Oh, she's still just a baby. How sweet. She'll be yeah, she'll be a bitey teenager very soon if she isn't already. Lynn says capes are always the answer. I would agree with you, Lynn, except we have been having a lot of wind, and in wind capes can be a bit drafty and cold, but I do agree, capes are very often the answer. I will mute myself just for a moment so you don't have to listen to the squeak of the metal thermos. There we go. Let us see. I have missed. Let's see. Alex says they have not been enjoying the weather that keeps changing from warm to cold to warm either, but they never know if they can put their new sweater on. Oh no! Their fantastic new sweater that they showed us in the Discord. I have forgotten to share the Discord. I am not my usual... Things have been chaotic today. And then we had some technical issues and everything was chaos, but I shall do that post-haste. Let me see, where's me settings? If you are new here and have not yet joined our Discord, I do recommend you do so, because we have all sorts of cozy chats and sharing of our creative endeavors and interesting discussions. If I do say so myself, I very much enjoy it as a place to hang out, and I usually have it pinned in the beginning of the stream, but I have quite forgotten today. It says that Alex should wear the sweater and just sweat in pride if it's too warm. Oh no. Sounds like an easy way to get very much exhausted. Capes and drafty and cold in the wind, but also they look very cool in the wind. They do, they do. But they can sometimes not be quite warm enough. Gremlins were my name now as Great Grand feeling the love. That is very nice, Spirit Bee. I hope you have. And some tea from the last Homely House YouTube Kate. Oh, that's lovely. Their channel is so cozy. I'm always very impressed by what they make. And they have such a cozy channel. Like, it's such a warm and welcoming channel. We love to see it. Oh, Alex, you actually did wear it and sweat in pride when the last spinning meetup. Oof. Yeah. It's a hard time when you're equally parts warm and cold when you're running errands, and like as soon as you're in a store you're too warm, but if you're outside you're too cold, and it's just, yeah, it's just hard to be comfortable. I hope you didn't suffer too much for the art, Alex. Let's see. Ooh. Oh no, have we got a proper knot that doesn't just want to unravel when I touch it? Rude, I say. We broke it, but we appear to have broken it in a way that the knot is keeping the old thread and we can just keep on stitching. I'll take it. Might I ask about the walk technique behind you? I'm not quite sure what you are meaning, but if you are meaning the walkway sort of up on the wall, it is a part of a wall hanging cat furniture that we just acquired, and I feel like I have leveled up in Crazy Cat Lady, and I'm very much here for it because they now have furniture they can climb for them on the walls. They were already up in my shelves and they were designed to do that, like at heights that the kitties could jump up and down, and I had enough space in the shelves that they could do that they could like go from one shelf to another, but now we have added Fritzel says only half joining as we're having dinner. No headphones. Oh no. Well, we are glad you are here in all the same. Oh, the paint technique behind me. It would be better to ask Spouse about that, and they are not very much online, but these are 3 colors. It's a very light one, and then a medium green and a dark green all the way at the bottom, and they did some sort of magic brushy thingamajig where they rubbed it dry and with a little bit of paint, and magically they made a dusty smoky cloud background. I tried helping. I was of limited help. I am not a painting artist. Like Spouse is good at these things. I am not. My best attempts is this wall up here, which, you know, it has some gradient, but it's very much sharper than this smoky, lovely, soft thing over here. So yeah, that is all Spouse. It was their gift to me for my new office, and I love looking at it. I have my office set up when I'm working so I can look at my walls and out on the window, and I'm very much in favor. Hectic Hobbyist says, now that it's cooling down here, I'm finally getting around some of my winter preparations. I couldn't do much this summer since it was too hot, and I think let alone touch work on winter clothes. Yeah, I feel that. I know I should be working in preparation of seasons, but I usually work whichever season I feel like in the moment, which is usually the season I am in. And even if that means it's done ready for the next season, I still prefer to do it that way. I just can't bear to work on winter things in summer. My brain just doesn't brain with that kind of thing. Your internet froze, Lynn? Oh no! Ooh, and my tea has been forgotten. Wait, we've had a lot. We've been live for a while and I haven't seen an ad break yet. Am I missing them again? Hopefully not. Has been known to happen. Also, Spouse got us. They are very much getting into... I had one request for a kitchen. I wanted a cupboard or a shelf in one cupboard to be just full of funny, whimsical, different, handmade and also just cute cups. And they come home with... Last time they came home with a very cute chalice type cup that I had last time with a little sieve in it. This time they came home with something that was just full of... Oh, madam, will you zoom? Hello? No? Madam camera, please. Yes, there you go. This enormous cup, very nice, full of spring flowers. And they were very proud of themselves, and I think it is very cute, very spring. And I'm currently holding I'm realizing, a cup full of tea over my computer. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But they are very much leaning into my request of having a whimsical cupboard or a shelf full of whimsical cups. And they keep coming home with cute ones, so I don't even have to hunt them myself. They just come home with them, which I think is adorable. Lily says they are switching projects, maybe with a tea break in between. I am very much in favor of frequent and tasty tea breaks. Love the new setup. Well, thank you. We are very much enjoying this new setup. It seems to be working quite well. I have storage for all of my things, and also I would have more storage if I just planned a little bit more, but how best to do this? You're looking at what you mean to be the catwalk? Yeah, it is indeed a catwalk. Currently, sadly though, it has no cat. A grave lack, I feel, but they are off catting elsewhere, so I guess we shall just have to leave them to it. But they have been enjoying it today. I have been mightily distracted and taking many pictures because they are ever so adorable. Exploring it and getting to know it, and I mean, we only finished setting it up yesterday, so they are still quite enthused and very much adorable. I think they are really, really cute. I hope they're gonna live just up under the wall like some sort of gargoyle, because I think that is just the best. Let's see, you've been looking at a lampshade on my right. Your left, possibly. Do you mean, let's see, this one? Yeah, this one was inherited from a friend who lost their mother, and they wanted to empty the apartment as fast as possible, and this was one of the glorious things we got, and I think it is very beautiful and a very nice memory in that way. We are about to have some ads, so we are about to have a little bit of a break. We grab our hydration of choice and we just chill out. You don't miss anything. Lynn says, I've been wanting to get into ceramics and make my own cups, but I have so many hobbies already. I know, right? And ceramics take up so much space and also quite expensive in the tools as well. I used to do it. We had ceramics in junior high and it was so much fun. We even had the spinny wheel that makes things round and even. It was so much fun the few times we got to try it. I figure it's one of those things where it might be nice to rent space in a workshop if you can, rather than buying everything yourself, if one ever manages to save up the money for that. But that seems like a way one can get both a bit of crafty community and also not have to get everything oneself. But yes, ceramics is so much fun. But also supporting local artists in their ceramics adventures is also really cool. So conundrums. Enjoying this calm crafty moment and trying out some log cabin type knitting for a baby blanket. Not my baby. In emphasis in background. That is very nice. I'm not familiar with cabin type knitting, but I'm glad you are having a good time. Baby blankets are always such a great way to try out new techniques in a relatively condensed project, and I think they're a lot of fun. I really like to do where you start on double point needles and you start in the middle like you would crochet, and you just use the double point needle for a little while until you can get it onto a circular needle, and then you just knit in every direction. So you start at the center instead of a triangular shawl that has like 2 corners and then you grow 90 degrees out. You just grow in all directions, just like a raglan sweater. And I don't know, for some reason I think they're a lot of fun because you can just start them and they will be symmetrical no matter what, which is enjoyable. At least I think so. But yeah, do recommend. Baby blankets are very fun for trying out small techniques and stuff. Lynn says maybe once the craft room is actually set up and not just a storage area for things we haven't had the strength to unpack since the move. Oh, I feel that, Lynn. We still have so many boxes that are not unpacked. I feel very spoiled and also a bit bad because my office, because I do work on the YouTube thing, was a priority, so my office looks very nice, but our bedroom is not finished, so we live in the basement until we can finish the bedroom. My spouse's office is not finished, although they have started setting up their desk so that they can do a little bit of writing and work there, but it is very much not done. The living room and kitchen are completely okay. The basement is a disaster because we were so lucky to have a basement, which meant that all the boxes we didn't know what to do with or that we wanted to unpack later when we had the storage furniture for them just got yeeted into the basement, just in piles of boxes, and there they stand still months and months after the move. So I can very much feel the pain of, still having a lot of work to do after a move because it is exhausting. And getting storage stuff for everything as well takes time. You can't do everything at once. It's just a time. So at least don't feel alone. We are very much in a similar type boat because moving is exhausting. I hope we will stay here for quite some time because I don't want to move again anytime soon. Lily says they have a friend who told me there's a place that does drop-in silversmithing. Oh, I love that. Hello, sweetie. We have a visitor. Very darling. Hi. Can we see if we can actually show the child? Hello. It's not very easy, madam. There she is. Hi. Kitty love bites. I have healed, but I'm not careful with playtime and it's bloody. Oh no! Yeah, spouse learned the hard way with Soot not to use hands as toys because that tends to have consequences. But she is still a very sweet and a patient little baby. Being in a wheelchair complicates access to group studios a lot. I believe that, Lynn. But the kiln access, at least not having to operate and purchase and move a kiln, is quite nice. You know, we need you to actually not fall off. Difficult though this is. Fritzl says, my daughter just told me that she was chosen for the Extra Creatives group where they do creative things with several different ages together. Love that. My daughter chose to program a game, but they all were also tasked with finding 6 different ways to eat a cookie. I love that. Let them think a little bit outside the box. Fantastic. Good evening from Northern Germany. Good evening, Doro. Welcome. We are just having a bit of a snuggle break from our drawstring sewing because we had a very purring, very welcome guest. Good evening, Leia. Welcome. Fritzl says their local library is wheelchair accessible and they do pottery classes on the regular. That is pretty cool. Our libraries do not do that, but they have started doing, and I think this is still amazing, like they rent out tools, like power tools, and and of course you can use the computers, that's pretty normal, and they also have sewing classes, and they have sewing machines that people can use and also that people can rent, and they have bike repair kits that people can rent, and bike pumps and things like that. And they are having a lot of expanded equipment for things. I think it's really great. Libraries are amazing. Bless you. We don't have any tools except for a small fab lab. That is interesting what different libraries prioritize, and they're very often the gathering place for homework help and things like that. Love a good library. Would you like some tea? No, I didn't think so. Let's see. Will you be bitey with my needles if I try to continue? Yeah, libraries do so much for the community. It's amazing. Like we know of a lot of libraries, various ones that do a lot of like game nights with youth, especially like Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games, and they do have an audio booth where people can do audio recordings like properly for various projects. If kids have creative projects or someone needs to, I don't know, get invited to a podcast and needs a quiet place to record, that exists. in some libraries, and I'm always amazed at the various ways people use and find resources for libraries, because they're just such amazing community. And a lot of them do courses and will let people arrange courses or use their space for various things, especially when it's for the community. Libraries are fantastic. Not even a little bit colored by our friend who recently got a job as a librarian, which they are very enthused about, and we are enthused on their behalf. They do very important community work. Lynn says, I'm always amazed when I hear about libraries abroad doing stuff like that. Here you can have books and CDs, movies, but that's about it. Aw, that's a shame. There's so much potential in the library building, but I get it, like not everyone can have the resources to do all of the different stuff. And usually not a library doesn't do everything at once. Like one library will focus on one thing and another will do something else. But in Norway, we also have the luxury of interlibrary loans, free of charge, which is very nice, which means that I can go into the library app or the library database, and if I want to borrow a book for research and it's at the other side of the country, I can just request it, and I will get a notification when it has come to my library, and I can borrow it, and I can also return it to the same library, and they will return it to the correct library. And all the libraries in Norway are thus connected, and you can just do that wherever you want. And it means that even small libraries can provide their patrons access to a lot of books, even if it might take some waiting for things to actually arrive. But I think that is pretty magical. Rebecca says crafting with cats is a special skill. They're pretty used to it. They're pretty good about it. The only thing this little madam will sometimes be a little bit of a menace about is when she wants to lie on one of my works in progress. Hello. Your bum is still sliding off. And she starts pulling out the pins because the pins are stabbing into her and she wants them gone, which, I mean, I can understand that, but also kindly do not unpin my project. Oh. Well, it's your spouse. It's alright. Are you too curious? Yeah, too curious. It do be like that. I am not interesting enough. Can we get it back to what we were trying to do earlier? Alison says, I am a librarian, but only in cyberspace, working in digital health and medical library. Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, we had a lot of help from the university librarians who know so much about databases and searching and like, not just about finding the things, but they have so many courses in using various things. Like, such an amazing research. For instance, this librarian, librarian is my dream job. Oh, I can understand that. There's so much appeal to the archiving and the helping other people and the organization, and they do so many different things. Spirit Bee says it is their very first live. Please tell everyone I'm trying to catch up. Don't worry, Spirit Bee, you're good. We are not very strict on anything right here. We are just hanging out, having a good time, hopefully. There's no pressure to watch everything. Sometimes that is a little bit too much. Like, people just pop in and out as suits them. 2 hours can be a bit long. And even then, I know that is actually relatively short for a lot of streamers. Like, some streamers will do 12-hour stints, and I'm like, I could never. I need my sleep and my breaks. and my food and drinks and all of the things. But sometimes I do think it would be fun to do slightly longer streams for whatever reason. Need to leave early today as I have to be in the pool by 8. That is lovely though. I love that for you that you're doing that. So very nice. I haven't been in a pool or indeed in water in far too long and I do kind of miss it. So maybe this year is the year we do something about it, although I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Getting swimming gear and all those. Oh, no, we don't. I forgot to bring a scrap box, but I almost put the scrap in my tea, which is not what we wanted. There we go. One tiny little drawstring bag. Now we just need a drawstring for it. Where is the opening that we, for once, remembered? And I had this... I don't remember where this came from. It came from something that had the same color yellow. This short drawstring. It's a little bit long for this one, but honestly this is the thing that I like to keep. All those, like, some products come with like tiny amount of drawstring and I save them for things like drawstring pouches. They seem to be the one thing where they fit. And one way or another they get used after all, which is very satisfying since they are usually given just to be thrown away. Oh, come on. Collaborate. I know there's a seam there, but you can do it. Huh. There we go. Pool is only 5 minutes from your house? Oh, that's amazing. We don't have one quite so close to here, but there is one when the spring weather is being more gracious with us that is only about, I would say, like 10 minutes maybe by bike. And that might be an option eventually. There we go. Brooke says, used to be a librarian before my autistic burnout, still use worldcat.org a lot. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your burnout, Brooke. I am familiar with the pain, so my commiserations. It is very frustrating, especially when you have the dreaded skill drop where you used to be able to do things and then suddenly you can't. So I hope you are giving yourself time to rest and all of the things. There we go. One little gifts bag with a very happy little yellow drawstring and hopes that the person receiving this is not accidentally watching the live stream. Although I guess it wouldn't be too much of a problem because they don't know what is going inside. So cute. Thank you. It's a very good use of like those medium scraps that are like, they seem too big to be used for patchwork, but they are also too small for things like pockets and larger things. And I just know, especially if they're nice and like evenly shaped, I just want to use them for something. And drawstring bags are ever so quick and ever so useful. Like, we're always using drawstring bags for projects and for bringing, if you're packing when you're traveling, if you need a small bag to keep things organized so you don't lose it all over your suitcase. We just have, I need to make more drawstring bags because they tend to disappear. A bit like I once got a flannel bedsheet secondhand and I cut it up and made a lot of just little, not napkins, but like cloths, washcloths. And the flannel is very absorbent because it's been washed so much. And the stack has steadily depleted as they kind of vanish off to do various things around the house. Sometimes too dirty to actually be thrown in the wash and reused, and we actually have to end up throwing them away. If it is like a painting and things like that, they do tend to get worn out eventually. So I think I need to acquire some more soon so we can have a replenishment of our reusable cloths, because they are in use all the time. As soon as there's a spill on the floor or the cats have done anything, like, so incredibly useful. I used up my thread, so we get to cut a new one. Spirit Bee says moving isn't my favorite thing, but when it is a positive, it's lovely, especially if it's a new location of wonderment. That is a very good perspective, I think. And we have a very good location. We have some very nice sunsets, only like 2 minutes walk from where we are, which we have been enjoying sometimes, especially now that the evenings are getting longer, which is lovely. It's a nice time to just head for a little evening walk and catch a little sunset and then head back. Just a little project. Where's me end? There you are. It's a bit dark for me to be working, but it is working somehow because it's simple. Simple project. Cute little bag from the art. Thank you. I hope they will like it and that they will use it for crafty projects or just storing things in a drawer or organizing things. They are ever such useful little things. Jolanda says we now have a Fibercrafts library at our local yard store and it's all been donated. I love it. Love to see various community projects happening all over and people coming together to use what already exists. It is so nice. I hope it is getting a lot of use and enjoyment from the local community members. Is it always knots whenever I'm on camera, hey? Madam Thread? I feel like it's like the a watched kettle never boils, but a watched thread always knots. Oh, come on, are you having a laugh? Eee. Can't be that twisted, I only just stirred it. I'm just gonna keep pulling you all with me so that I can be a little bit closer to the desk. Fritzl says there is a community project starting soon at our library for a giant wall hanging made out of all kinds of fiber arts to commemorate the past of slavery in the province next to ours. Oh, that sounds like a wonderful community project and an important one, to be sure that we make sure to remember these things so that we do not repeat them and we do not forget or deny them. Jolanda says it's being used daily and people tell each other about it too. The local Fibercrafts library. I love to see that. It's always so nice. Like, it's so sad when there are really great resources existing in the community, but the community aren't aware of them, so they don't use them, and then they lose funding or whatever if they are publicly funded. And they go away and people were like, oh, but I didn't even realize you existed, or I would have used it. It's always so sad. So I'm always very happy when people are using their whatever it is so that it hopefully stays being an offer for everyone. Hello. Oh, I see. So it's settled in the chair. My lap was too restless. Oh well. So if we were to have a cat cam, I would point it over at her in the chair. I suppose we could do that for a bit of variety. She's being very cute. Let's see, how would we... Maybe if I unplug, oops, you, and then... There she is. Oops. We have reacquired a cat cam. There you go. I mean, it might as well be a static image because she is having a good. It feels much like an old-fashioned quilting bee here. I have not experienced those, but it sounds like a positive thing, so I'm glad you think so. We are certainly having a good time. Kitty Cam? Yes, she ran away from us, but she was here all along. She was just hiding in her favorite chair, so... Oh, sweetie, now I can see you too, even though you're behind me. I am in favor. Lynn says, time to peel some vegetables. I hope you have a good time with that, Lynn, and don't exhaust yourself. More starting of dinners. Lily as well says, tea acquired, and I was good and started on dinner. Very nice. I am getting more and more in favor of using our food processor for dinner prep because it is ever so nice, although I can cut relatively quickly. If I'm low on spoons, it is very nice to just throw it in the slicer and let it do it for me. Does help on the good old consumption of veg. Blue Iris, hello, welcome, says working on a delightful pre-printed sashiko panel of 9 cats in dark grey thread on cream fabric. A little challenging since fabric requires nearly two-sided technique. That does sound quite challenging. I hope you're also having fun with it, Blue Iris, and not just feeling challenged, but in that very good in-between space of challenge and thriving. Lily says, I rarely do the cooking, but today I'm making a very easy dinner. That is nice. Easy is nice sometimes too. I tend to do quite a bit of cooking for our household, but I tend to cook in bulk so that I can make a larger batch and then we can eat from it for a few days, or I will make a side dish that we can have for a few days, and then another day I will make another side dish, so I'm rarely making all too much at the same time. I forgot to say we had ads. I am not not very present today. Pardon, I quite forgot to announce that we were having ads. I am a bit, a bit airheaded today, it seems, but hopefully it is not too bad. And we have made good progress on our projects, which we are always good to see. I've been doing a very small project this week and filming it, and I think it will be a very enjoyable thing. Although I have a feeling that when it's done it shall be proper warm spring, and I shan't need it until autumn, but I shall still very much appreciate having it. And I look forward to showing it to everyone, and it involves wool and snug things and warm things. And I'm very, very excited about it. Oh, come now, Madam Thread. Surely. Having warm things when you need them is never a bad thing. Exactly, for souls. I do enjoy having warm things. I always think I have many things, but then I realize whenever I want a specific thing that I could always use another warm, snug thing to keep me warm. It is very not unappreciated. Blue Iris says, no worries about the Sashiko project. Mostly thriving, occasionally aggravated by short stretches like each set of whiskers. Oh, whiskers are always a difficult thing to replicate, like when you're drawing or sewing or what have you, because they're a bit like hands. You feel it if they're not quite, but you might not be able to put your finger on it. But I'm glad you are mostly having fun with it. I am very much enjoying having a rear view mirror on Soot sleeping in the chair behind me. I know that a lot of you also like having the kitty cam, but I also enjoy having the kitty cam. It is a most appreciated part of technology. And with this setup, we can also follow her around if we manage. If she was having a row up in the up in the cat castles, up in the wall hangings. I haven't gotten any footage of it. I've just been enjoying them running around and exploring. I probably should have, but when I thought about making a short of like putting the cat shelves on the wall, it felt so much like an ad, like a sponsored, but I didn't get sponsored. I did pay money for them. It just felt so much like something that would have been an ad, so I just like, nah, I'm just gonna put them up and let the children enjoy it and put some snacks and just have a moment to watch them enjoy exploring new spaces. And they do really seem to like it. Luckily, they had a weight limit of cats up to 10 kilograms, and both of our female cats are half that or less, so that should hopefully not be a problem. They are very tiny feline madams. Even the vet was surprised when Embla came out of the carrier, because she's very fluffy, so you wouldn't think she was as small as she is, but then you lift her and she doesn't weigh anything. And the vet even did a double take to just make sure that, no, this cat isn't skinny, she's just tiny. she's just small. And Soot is no heavyweighter either, although she is larger than Embla. But at least they are mostly matched. There's no like large Maine Coon just taking over everything. Are there sounds outside? Aww. A 10-kilogram cat would be a whopper. It certainly would be. But I have seen May-Coons on the big things. And it's scary that not scary, they are still amazingly pretty, but a cat that is the size of a dog is kinda... it's kinda different. Blue Iris says, I plan to add a ball of yarn with some winding its way between the cats. Would prefer red, but fear color bleeding. Perhaps orange instead. Ooh, that does sound like it would be nice. I'm not sure about how problems of color bleeding, so I will leave that in others' deft hands. Spirit Bee is having a very good time. Then in a therapy of sorts, craft friends. Well, I am glad you are having a good time, Spirit Bee. We are having a... I quite enjoy these chats too, because I get to hang out with the community and I get to work on projects I often have been postponing and shoulda, coulda, woulda have been supposed to be working on, and yet they have been procrastinated terribly because there are always other priorities. And then live streams roll around and I have no excuse, which is kinda nice, I have to admit. Rebecca suggests maybe pre-washing the embroidery thread, and I suppose checking for bleeding, I don't know, like trying it out on some other cloth and trying to see what happens, I don't know. Allison says my friend has Maine Coons and you can hear them coming down the stairs. I mean, you can hear Embla coming down the stairs too, but I don't think that has anything to do with her size. She has a very heavy walk, that one, for being such a tiny, tiny child. Soot, on the other hand, is pretty quiet. And a lot sneakier than her younger sister. It's always interesting to see which animals and people walk lightly and who walks really heavily. It can be quite entertaining. And people you think would be quiet are suddenly really loud, and vice versa. It's not really predictable from what people look like, how noisy they will be or how heavy they will thread. Many other factors at play instead. Oh, we have lost the cats. See if I can put this back before. Oop. There we go, maybe. I will take it. Rebecca says, when my cats have zoomies, they sound like stampeding elephants. But they are so cute though. Wreaking so much havoc for such tiny bodies and having so much fun. At least ours do. And they love going up and down the stairs. The first place we lived when we got soot did not have stairs, like it was just a self-contained apartment on a single floor. And she had not encountered stairs until she was a couple of years old, and she discovered that if she starts on top and just sort of go down like an avalanche, she can gain a lot of speed, and she had a lot of fun doing that. And then another place we were at, like this place has carpet tiles so that you don't slip in the stairs, and they enjoy it so much because they get so much traction from the carpet, so they can get so much speed, and they just love it so much. It's fantastic. And of course, they're very nice places to lie as well, in the middle of the staircase, and be stumbling blocks of danger, which when you get dark blue carpet tiles and you have black cats is perhaps not the most thought through thing to do, but there you go. Moon says, I was excited to eat turnips, but they're all spongy and worm-eaten. Oh no, oh, that is so frustrating. Yeah, I hear you. I recently splurged on a watermelon, and I was looking forward to enjoying it over the week, and it was also kind of sad on the inside, and it's disappointing when it's fresh and you just bought it, but hopefully some of it can be salvaged, but if not, that is just frustrating. I hope you manage to have something else that is tasty all the same. These things happen sometimes. Fritzo says the upside of those carpet tiles is you can remove them to clean. Indeed. Well, these are fastened with double-sided tape, so it's not the easiest to remove them to clean them, though you can if you really need to, but they do generally take the hoover quite well. Even so, stairs are dust magnets. It's amazing how fast dust accumulates in stairs. It's always kind of interesting. Etienne is gonna go. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good day, Etienne. I hope you have a good rest of your day, especially since you have quite a lot of rest of your day still to go. Blue Aries says, my two tiny grey cats sound like elephants too. Remarkably, my 10-pound tabby is lighter of thread. Yes, it doesn't really matter how heavy they are. It's all to do how light they are of thread or of foot. Like, weight does not have much to do with it. You can still be very fleet-footed and light-footed if you are heavy, and very noisy, even if you are quite light. It's very interesting. I saw a shadow, but I think she left us again. Too much talking, perhaps. She does like her naps relatively quiet. Need to get changed, but your swimsuit is still wet? Oh no, that does not sound very pleasant. I hope you have figure out a way to solve that conundrum, but I guess I don't really need to be doing full-on backstitch on a poor little drawstring bag. I could do a running backstitch and maybe we would have been done in time. But if I change it now, I would have half a seam that was different from all the other seams, and that is also unpleasant to my brain. Seems best to just finish in the same manner with which we started. At least this is not a big time-consuming project or scene to begin with, so it shouldn't take... I mean, I could just do this on the machine, but we were here and we were chatting and we were having a good time, and these projects were ever so available and easy to grab for a little chat that is not too demanding while we are talking. Drawstring casing gets scrunched and pulled a lot though? That is very true, Lynn. These are just the side seams, but the casings do see a lot of wear and tear. You have a good point there. They require a bit more strength of seam. Doro says, speaking of cats and noises, one of my boys licks himself so loudly. Soot snores. It is the most adorable. It's not a really loud, rumbly, like tomcat snore. It is a very light, soft, little bit wheezy. Not so much that we are worried about her breathing, but it's very light, like little flute that just is so cute. It's very adorable. Do recommend all the weird, tiny, small and big noises of that animal makes when they're sleeping or resting or anything are just really adorable. And of course the cat activation sound, the prpt they make when you touch them in the middle of a nap or just when they're saying hi or anything really. It's just really adorable. Mindy Viola says, my cat's purrs like a motorcycle. You can hear her across the room. Oh, we used to have a cat like that. Her name was Enya, and she was very, very cute. And she purred so loudly. Soot's purrs are very, very quiet. They are plentiful, but they are rather quiet. Embla is a lot louder, but still not up to the same volume as Enya when she was having a good snooze on her favorite lap and I was wearing wool and life was good and everything was just right in her little kitty world. It was a very mighty purr. Adore the prpt. Yes, it is the best sound. I love it when you stumble upon compilations of prpt sounds online. It's always such an interesting thing to, when you're writing captions, like do you write the cat activation sound? Do you write the cat is trilling, or do you write prpt? Like do you, what best conveys the essence of this thing happening can be a bit of a challenge sometimes, but Stripey Crayon says, I'm back, send virtual cuddles to the void. You are very welcome, Stripey Crayons. I forgot that I moved the camera away from the cat who left us to my hands, so I should probably have my hands be visible. This setup is maybe not. Could use a little bit of finagling, but we had some technical issues earlier, so maybe I will finagle a bit more with it later. Doro is agreeing with the, all the snores and noises and the exhales with a loud sigh and all of the things. Yeah, they are just so sweet and so full of love. Like, you don't have to do a lot for them to give you their love. Like, they are so trusting and sweet. Spouse wants to build them a catio so they can yell at the magpies, and I'm hoping we will manage to do that this year because that'll be super cute. But we shall see. Energy and spoons notwithstanding, they are not limitless at all. So we shall see. They're still yelling at them from inside the house, so there is that. Aha. Interesting how there seems to be a lot of light on camera, but it is actually quite dark. But these stitches don't have to be super precise, and I do have the lines of the plaid to go by, which is very helpful. I do enjoy. Rebecca says, I love it when the cats chitter through the window at the birds and squirrels outside. Yes, it is very cute. Although Sud and I will also have like talking to each other, where she will talk from across the room and I will answer her, and we will just keep it going until she gets so excited that she has to run over to say hi. It's a game she's been playing since she was a kitten, and it is super adorable. Stripey Crayon says, I spent some time recently with someone's very skittish cat and was so honored when he finally brushed up against my legs before running back to his preferred human. Hello! That is indeed a good honor. Just like I too have been honored by my madam. Are you having a good time today, sweetie? Is it not? Are you up for some shawl time? Is that why you're jumping up on my lap? Usually that is what we are doing. Hi, you ready? We'll put down the thimble so I don't hurt you. And then we just grab one snuggle bug. Toes in the air. She likes to squish my face. And then slide. Hi. There we go. Can I actually? You look very snug. See if we can actually show you. Look at the baby. You can barely see her face. Hi. You have eye gunk again. It's not the easiest to see her, is it? But she is here in the pouch. And of course you would think that I would get my hands free and that this would allow me to walk around and do stuff, but she gets a little bit miffed if I walk around while she is snoozing, so mind the whiskers, madam. So cozy? Yeah, she is super, super cozy. Hi. Fritzl says, I also have a cuddle bug on my lap, only she is a 7-year-old daughter. Cuddle bugs know no age or species. They are all cuddle bugs welcome here. You're all up for those cuddles and snuggles. It's so cute for a big boy TM to be skittish like that. He looks like he must be part Maine Coon and still panics at his sneeze. Oh no. Yeah, Sud is pretty skittish as well. She's very cute though, but quite a skittish madam. She has learned that pouches are quite nice and snug, although she is staring at me as if I am being very rude to talk on top of her nap. It's very difficult to get a good good angle at you. Can we actually get a better... I'm not sure how we would. Oops. I mean, that works, kinda. There she is. It's a bit upside down, but... So yeah, baby sling for the fur baby. Can recommend secondhand slings for very cuddly cats. Of course, there was a transition period where she wasn't really sure what I wanted to do to her and what was happening, but now we have a kind of truce where she's not really supposed to be on my desk. She can be on all the other surfaces in the workroom except my desk. So whenever she's on the desk, I take it as she wanting to be in the sling. And now that is just kind of how it is. Like, she'll be walking over to my desk and it's like, okay, sling time. Which I might be training a monster. Perhaps I will regret this, but right now she is just super cute. Although, since I got a ring sling rather than one of those wrap things, my shoulder does get a bit tired after a while, but who can say no to a face like that? Fritzl says, my daughter wanted to share that she loves your videos as well and she's watching with me. How nice! I'm very glad that it can be a multi-generational thing. Thank you, Fritzl's daughter. That is very sweet of you. I am glad you are enjoying as well. The kitty cam is often a popular addition. Well, someone is a snooze. Having her in the sling while you work is better than having her barge in and lie down on your project? Could this be true? Although I still have not gotten her to enjoy me walking around with the sling. She will generally get impatient quite fast if I do that. And also now I'm moving the arm, holding her nice and warm. So we shall see if she will remain patient, but she is able to get out of it when she's fed up with it, so like I am not worried that she'll have an anxiety attack. She is quite capable of getting out of it when necessary. I have been wanting to get footage of like filming and working on a project while she's in the sling, but it is a temperamental thing. We only do it when she wants to. Otherwise she just jumps straight out and it's not going to be a positive thing. You're just gonna hang out of the sling like a little sausage. She was very surprised when you read out the message, as this is her first live, but she's kind of used to the premieres of Shannon Makes. Yeah, premieres and lives are a little bit different. I've been enjoying Shannon's premieres too. They are very cozy. It's very fun to be commenting on things as they are happening in a already edited video. I have not tried premieres yet, but they do seem like quite a bit of fun. But madam, you have a talent for getting out of frame whenever I've tried to frame you properly. But that is fun, yeah. For once, not pre-recorded and pre-edited project going on. Just a slug of a cat who looks a little bit half dead, but luckily she's warm against me, so I have no worries. Lisette says, spent a quiet little while knitting with you and moving on now. See you all next time. Have a good one, Lisette. I hope you have a good time doing whatever it is that you are doing. The Void is certainly having a good snooze. Elaine says, I salvaged what I could, but whether it's actually edible remains to be seen. We'll see once they're cooked. Yeah, it's so sad when that happens to something you've been looking forward to, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that they will be at least edible parts of them. I wish I could manage to get a good angle on her that isn't sideways. I know it's a little thing in the grand scheme of things, but I'm so upset I hardly ever get to eat them, and cooking takes so many spoons. Yeah, no. It's alright to be upset about these things, especially when you've been looking forward to them. I don't know about where you live, but here parsnips and turnips are actually quite expensive and the season is quite short, so it's always a treat when we actually do get them. And in any case, when you have been looking forward to something, it is okay to be upset when something about it changes. Like, it is perfectly alright and quite human. Fritzl says, when I have carrots that are slightly soft and bendable, they are great in butter chicken as a little extra sweetness. Yeah, soft carrots are great in all sorts of stews and soups, and grated in tomato sauces or soups, and even oven baked because they get soft anyway. There are so many uses for them. I kind of forget that. Not everyone uses all of the things all of the time, but it's just such a, I don't know, such a rewarding habit. I just get so much joy out of trying to use up all of the everything of something. I'm noticing a problem with having a magnetic pin holder is that I usually get more than one pin because the residual magnetism pulls along another one, but I'm resisting the urge to be quiet as my child is snoozing, since we are also hanging out. Speaking of salvaging food, I forgot I was boiling pasta and now it is woefully overcooked. Oh no! That is no fun. This cotton is so soft and pliable. I think it would be very, very nice as a summer dress or summer skirt or something. It's so soft. It's very enjoyable. And I got a lot of it on clearance, so I have many meters to use for many interesting projects. Have to go now because your friend will be at the door any minute? That's alright, Fritzels. We will see you next time, and hopefully you will get more cuddles with your daughter later. I'm sure there will be many more snuggles and good things to come. Have a good time. Boiled stripy crayons is suggesting boiled and mashed turnip with butter and salt. That is lovely. I've also had turnips just roasted in front, like lying next to the coals on a fire until they are black on the outside, and you peel them and they are wonderfully sweet and soft on the inside, just with some salted butter. Is amazing. Do recommend charred turnips, charred many vegetables really. Gets so sweet and tender and lovely. Two needles, I only need the one. Alright, let's see if we can do some stitches for the drawstring. I didn't think we would get this far since this was a much larger bag than the first one, but I guess we were having some technical issues and always the introductory chatting and things in the beginning. Emma Welch says, late this week, sending warm wishes to all. Hello, Emma, welcome. We are just having a quiet kind of day. I have been finishing a little drawstring pouch for a gift for a friend who has a birthday this weekend, and then also a bigger drawstring pouch so that they have somewhere to put their knitting or sewing projects, and also so that we have somewhere to put their gift. As a reusable gift wrapping that is my favorite for creative people, since it allows them to then have a gift wrapping that they can use for a project bag, which you can never have too many project bags. Do recommend. Max says, my tablet's been having some issues. Don't worry, Max. I hope you are alright, having a good time. Technical issues being what they are, we know about those today. Mandy Viola says, my dog is shedding in clumps. Time to break out my needle felting tools to make more cat toys. A very worthwhile endeavor indeed. I mean, I am wishing that I could turn the camera so you could see Soot snoozing in the right dimension, but I'm not sure you would see that much more if I swap, because she's just a sleeping black lump of cozy right now. She is the snuggest though, I mean, it's gotta be said. Good morning. Did you wake up? Yeah, I heard there was a motorcycle outside. It's being very chill today. Don't know if it's just me or if I got the impression other people were also a little bit under the weather, but I like when they end up being energetic lives, and I also like when they are just quiet, calm lives, and we are just kind of hanging out and having a good time. Waternice says, good day everybody, good day, welcome. We are having a crafty, quiet, kitty snoozing type of day. Drawstring bags galore are getting made. Doro says, I've sewn 24 drawstring pouches for an advent calendar. We were 25 people and they all got my gift on the same day. That is pretty cool concept for an advent calendar. Yeah, they would be a lot faster if I was just doing this on machine, but I do prefer the quiet sewing things when we are hanging out, so that you can actually hear what is going on. Lynn says, that is a lot of pouches, indeed. But I do find that they are the kind of things that is easier to do in batches, like you'll cut out a bundle and pin them all and then sew them all, and then it'll all end up being faster than if you try to do one at a time. If you have the spoons to do a batch, which I find is easier if you're doing it with someone else. But I don't know, it's not all about being the most efficient we can be. Sometimes we just want to relish in the joy of creating the thing. And creating one thing in an evening can be very satisfying when we're exhausted, instead of making tiny progress on a big thing to actually finish a thing. It's also very nice. I'm trying to stitch without moving my arm too much, but that is not really easy when it comes to sewing. Hi. You're not comfortable. Am I talking too much all over your nap? I do apologize. You also sew them all by hand? Yeah, that is quite a lot of work for one day. To sew all those drawstring pouches by hand. I hope your friend relishes them and enjoy them very much. Handmade things are so precious. It's so nice to find other people and friends and loved ones who also appreciate all the work and love of handmade things, because it's so nice to be able to surround yourself with handmade things made by friends and loved ones, and then be able to gift them handmade things in return. It's my favorite thing. I just want to have a life full of handmade things by different people and remember their love when seeing the thing they made for me. Hi. Lynn says, I used to batch sew tote bags to sell at a market. They were lined and had applique on them, and in some cases pockets. And honestly, I vastly underpriced them. I'm not surprised. It does sound like a fair bit of work. But also, I know no one would have bought them otherwise. That is a problem with craft fairs, isn't it? Like people underpricing things so that everyone else has to underprice things, and for some mysterious reason, it is always the traditionally female associated crafts that are the most underpriced. Like the woodworkers and the blacksmiths are not underpriced in the same way as stereotypically wife and women, and like crafts associated with women are the most underpriced, and it is very frustrating because the blacksmiths and the woodworkers get a much better and fairer price for their hours spent. And yet no one bats an eye, and it's so frustrating. Leia says, I think I will finish knitting a sock before the end of the day. Wow, that is very exciting. We wish you luck in that endeavor. I am hoping, although we are nearing in on the 2-hour mark, that I will be able to finish this one so that we have them all ready and sewn and drawstringed up for Saturday. It's not my prettiest piece of stitching, but it will be serviceable. Now we only have half the drawstring casing left. Nice says, I think people think that anyone can get some fabric and sew, but getting metal and a big fire is harder. Yeah, no. I think that's the case with a lot of, again, traditionally male and traditionally female associated crafts, is that people think a lot of male crafts are more difficult, but they have a similar level of technicality, all of them. There's so much geometry and math in spinning and weaving and many things. It's super, super cool. It's always very fun. I have some very mathematically inclined friends who picked up tablet weaving, and they had so much fun because they immediately saw all the patterns and had a lot of fun with designing new patterns and understanding how the tablets work and move, and just super satisfying. And they got to have a break from their studies a bit and still use their creative, thinky, mathy brains. Great fun for all involved. Fabric is easier to acquire, but both are highly skilled. Indeed. And before the Industrial Revolution, I mean, fabric was a very skilled thing to make. It still is a very skilled thing to make, but now we can also buy it industrially. But I mean, look at Gillian Eve and her weaving endeavors. They are so much work in fabric. It's such an amazing technology, and we don't even think of it as technology. It's just clothes, but oh my goodness. There's so much innovation in spinning and weaving and sewing. It just boggles the mind. Lynn says, I was one of the only actual crafts people at that market. I thought it was a craft market. Oh, you're just at a regular market. Sorry, I thought it was a craft fair. But it was not. A lot of it was merch shops and secondhand stuff, so I didn't really have a lot of competition. I guess that is something, but it is still very difficult to get a fair price for those kinds of crafts because people have this strange association, and they have, of course, the expectation of fast fashion in the shops that fabric-made stuff is supposed to be cheap, and $10 t-shirts and other strange things that really sets the expectation in the wrong corner. Yes, those fabric weavers are amazing. Yes, it's so much work to weave fabric. Something we've almost completely forgotten in this modern day and age. How much work used to go into clothing, people, is truly mind-boggling. It was a good market and they were actively trying to get craftspeople making fandom related items to participate. So that's how I ended up being there. That is a cool thing to have going on. It's been a long time since I've attended a craft fair like that, but it is a lot of fun when you can do local things like that. Okay. Just blinking at me, daring me to move too much on her nap. I almost want to do a burn test on this cotton because it is so soft. I'm almost a little bit wondering if there might be some viscose in it, but I don't know. It was sold as 100% cotton, and I think it is because the marking legislation here is usually quite good, and it's usually quite dependable, but one never knows. I had Triforce and Pikachu and TARDIS bags. I was trying to be mainstream. And Pokemon holiday themed postcards. That sounds like a lot of stuff. Maybe we need to make some Void themed merch. Black Cat themed merch. Hi. Am I fussing too much with you? I am, aren't I? You're gonna leave me soon. Such is the life of the cat owner, at least of these little babies, that if you fuss too much when we want to sleep, we shall be off. Right? TARDIS bag seems appropriate, bigger on the inside. Indeed. Very appropriate size thing for a bag. Spouse has a TARDIS cookie jar that you can put a battery in, so every time you go in to grab a cookie, it makes the TARDIS noise. It was fun for about 5 minutes, and then Spouse yanked the batteries out, and I think it's now a general office supply paraphernalia containment box, but still kind of fun. This is where I confess I've never watched the show. Fair enough. I was introduced to it by Spouse and we watched the early parts of the new season. We haven't watched it in years. For no good reason, really. We just haven't gotten into a lot of shows lately. We watched Up to Tenant. And then we haven't seen it in a long time. We're having a good time. Look at that face, like she's completely dozing off. Blue Iris says, thank you for the chat. Out of spoons, but very pleased to finish all but eyes and nose of one cat. That is very, very good. And we are actually also having finished the other bag. I didn't think we would get both done. Hello. But barring an actual drawstring, we actually managed to get both off our list. And I have some. It's going to be a green string. I know it's very enticing, love, but it's not for eating. Yeah, I know, life is unfair. It's not for snacking on. Jonathan, come out, please. Oh, are you done? Would you like to leave? Or are you just thinking about it? Well, we've talked about this. Not on the desk, sweetie. Alright, last drawstring before we are done with both bags in one go. I did not think but we will get that far. There we are, and then you need to have enough drawstring that you can straighten it out. A little knot. Yarn brown. There we go, all done and ready for gifting. I'm quite fond of these colors, I must say. I look forward to making many things with this little fabric. And there we have two little pouches, and we can slip one into the other for keeping our crafting supplies within. I hope they will like it, along with the other gifts Spouse has thoughtfully picked out. Alex says they had a lovely evening spinning. I love to see it. I'm glad you had a good time. I've been having a very good time too, and the children are getting restless, so I think we shall wrap up before they make too much chaos of our lovely evening. But in any case, thank you everyone for joining this attempt at a somewhat weekly thing. But if you want to know whether I am streaming or not, as I've said before, just join our Discord in the pinned comments and I will let you know whether I am not in good shape or if I'm actually able to hang out. And oh, we got to see a little exploration just before the end. How fantastic. They are so cute. I love it. But yeah, have a good one everyone. Have a good rest of your day, rest of your week, rest of your month, and hopefully I shall see you again soon. Bye!